Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And pros going off on the timeline once again. We've got Shotzzy responding to the ATS situation. We've got Dashy frustrated with some of these online tournaments. And aBeZy taking his frustrations and Vanguard out on the general public. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do. To help this channel reach new people, please consider subscribing as well if you have not yet already. Firstly, this from Charlie Intel. More info coming on Season 1 soon. Multiplayer map for Vanguard that includes a Pacific-inspired take on a fan-favorite classic, Call of Duty map. So whenever they say fan-favorite classic, I'm like, okay, what do they actually mean here? Because we hope, at the very least, that London Docks is going to arrive into the game. Now, I'm not exactly sure how you make, I guess you could make London Docks a Pacific-inspired take, but it was kind of London for a reason, right? I don't really know. But still, I am concerned at whatever maps do come into the game, which they are going to bring into the new maps, I imagine, here with Season 1 on December the 8th or whatever it drops. And well, they're going to do the first Challengers Cup a little bit after that now, which we'll have a look at here in just a second. But with any luck, there will be at least a map or two coming into the game, which hopefully will be all right. The concern is that what are they, if they do bring back a classic map that's actually a good one and could be good for competitive play, let's say a London Docks, for example, from World War II, they rename it or they do whatever they want to do with it, but maybe they add doors, right, they add destructible things, like maybe your map's too small given how quick you move in this game compared to World War II, you could well say, like there are some concerns to me, but still, I guess more maps the better. We did talk about before this game even came out, right, they're like, okay, there's 20 maps in the game, surely like at least 6 of them are going to be good for competitive. Turns out that's not really the case, to be honest, which is very frustrating. We probably need some new ones, and of course it's not really long until we imagine the league's going to kick off, especially the Challenger side is kicking off. It was meant to kick off pretty much like today or within a few days, or I think it was on the 3rd it was meant to be, but they delayed it just because well, everything's such a shambles right now, frankly. We don't even have a 3rd game mode, but maybe the 3rd game mode will arrive here on December the 8th with Season 1. I believe that's what they're hoping to be the case, because I'm not sure really what they're planning to do then with the Challengers Cup if that's not the case. But still, the anti-cheat is actually arriving in the game for Warzone on December the 8th. So hopefully it's going to arrive for multiplayer not too long after that, and also hopefully it works, right? That's definitely something to keep your eyes on here. But this is what they confirmed yesterday. Challengers Cup number 1 has been rescheduled to December 11th through to the 12th for all of the regions. This change allows the Challenger season to kick off after the release of Vanguard Season 1. All existing registrants will not need to re-register for the new date. So this is how it's going. This is pretty much the only thing the COD League talk about right now, but still, hopefully, with any luck, December the 8th comes around, that Season 1 arrives, another map comes into the game, like the new game mode arrives into the game as well, and therefore, like, they can actually start working on, Control or CTF, whatever it's going to be for this year. And the pros can start practicing a little bit more than just, like, 4 hard points that they scrim every single day at this point, which I'm sure is getting very repetitive for those guys, not even having a 3rd game mode to practice on at the present time. This also, just from Crone, I thought was pretty entertaining, frankly, like, just looking at what exactly we wanted in Vanguard and what maybe we do not have. Competitive Call of Duty fan looking for ranked play, CDL skins, good maps, a 12th CDL team, 3rd game mode, trophy system, pick 10, no doors, unbreakable walls, normal minimap, longer time to kill, silent bar defuse, and maybe even a Twitch stream right thrown in for good measure. Basically, Crone saying, look, we want an entirely new game, like this isn't going to cut it. It is crazy really just to list off the things that, the frustrations right now with the state of the game and say, look, maybe just a small request here for Sledgehammer to make some of these changes. But, maybe Call of Duty at some point in the future will actually be tailored for competitive, but I'm certainly not holding out hope. This also I wanted to mention real quick, just because what Halo are up to. They're actually going to do basically a classic MLG CWL type event from a few years ago, where all the matches at Raleigh, like MLG Raleigh or whatever it's going to be called in December here for the Halo Infinite event, are going to be streamed on 4 different streams, cover as many of the matches as possible. It's just, I'm sure that's going to be a cracking time, to be honest. That's the thing in Call of Duty. We haven't really done that for ages, just because there's just one main stream and that is it, right? Because they don't want to put any of the matches on Bravo or some other station, because I guess all the teams are paid the same amount of buy-in fee, which is kind of one of the things with franchising, to be honest. Let's also talk about this in terms of Scrim recap. Thought this is cool that Scrim Intel put together. Just straight up put out a spreadsheet on the timeline for the different teams that how their scrims have been going. Rokkr lately have kind of been getting bodies. I mean, look, it's just scrims at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter all that much. But as you can see right here, like they played Florida, FaZe, 1-3, 1-3, 2-3. Not sure they've technically won a scrim set right here. Like this one, I mean, they lost 2-8 to Florida. Then they got 0-5 by Ultra right here. Then they lost 0-4 to Optic. So yeah, kind of as of late, been getting smoked a little bit. Of course, these come over a long period of time from back on like the 12th of November now through to the 24th, I believe is this one. But still, hasn't been looking great for Rokkr so far. Atlanta FaZe, though, on the other side of things, despite clearly not really enjoying the game right now, that is very obvious. But they're still doing pretty well in scrims. Will that change over time? We'll have to see. But I mean, the team is just ridiculously talented on paper anyway. But these were some of their early scrims: 2-1, 3-1, 4-4 map count against Optic. We looked at, I believe, on the 14th of November. Since then, it's been pretty solid for them. They beat LAG 5-1, 5-0 against Wester, but I guess that's expected. And the Optic, Seattle Surge 4-0, Seattle Surge 2-2, 4-0 against Paris on the 22nd, and then some other ones here against, they actually lost to Scrim against Ultra, so fair play to Ultra guys for taking the one off them. And this is the one a while ago that you guys remember up against Seattle Surge that was 4-0. So if you guys want to check this out, the links, of course, will be under the references section in that description box below. This also wanted to mention from Dashy, because there was some talk about this on the 23rd of November. A lot of these tournaments going on right now, that a lot of the way they're formatted effectively is that, okay, you can have some CDL pros, then you can have some content creators coming in. But what exactly is described as a content creator, that is a big question mark, right? Because a guy like Karma, 3-time world champion, is arguably the greatest COD player of all time, he says right here, is considered a content creator, right? And many other players that are now Warzone pros, but have basically played Call of Duty at a very competitive level for the recent couple of years, they're now not considered, not considered pro players, therefore they can come in as a content creator. So Dashy's still not happy about it, and still not happy with how these tournaments are going. And RC says, look, bump times too, like I certainly agree with this take, but then Dashy's like, yeah, we still locked in for the next, we're going again next time. But the frustration's definitely starting to echo through on that front. This then that we looked at yesterday, with then, well, between Simp and RCs and all these guys discussing the auto taxman issue within the game right now, and exactly what Doug Martin thinks about it. Now, Scrims goes, can I sue aBeZy if my thumbs fall off as a result of this? Now, well, as Simp says here to Doug Martin, because Doug's like, look, I think we should just be able to use ATS, which he hasn't really got his way on that front, but he definitely made a stand on the timeline and fought that war to the very end, so fair play on that front. But I don't really know what this means, Benta unit, but I just disagree with your opinion, right? So Simp and Doug definitely going at it. Now, it's kind of interesting, because generally the idea here from guys like Simp and a lot of the pro players that have particularly good movement is that, look, if you allow ATS, it reduces the skill gap. It allows people to finesse for free, as Simp describes right here, and say, like, look, if you have good movement, therefore you should get gassed without having to use it. Now, of course, Shotzzy is considered to have pretty much the best movement in the entire game. He gives kind of a reaction to this on stream a couple of days ago. I believe he was driving somewhere. He was just live streaming at the same time. So I guess fair play, but be careful. But at the same time, he was kind of discussing his reasons why he thinks it should be gone. Now, it's not necessarily due to the skill gap. He reckons that ATS just makes the game way too fast. If like taxman in general was just gone, that might be a much better solution, quite honestly, because the frustrations really come in from Shotzzy's side that, like, if you're actually using ATS, the game is just played at a way too quick of a pace to actually make things competitive on that level.
No, I mean the whole ATS thing, like, I mean, it's just unfortunate, bro. Because one, I don't know, I hear from both sides, bro. I hear obviously the hands of, which I totally understand. But in terms of, like, I don't know, it's kind of just whack if we did a lot of it just because of the fact that, like, I don't know, everyone would just be speeding this, bro. Like, literally, like, it's actually insane. People probably, I mean, when I see Doug's tweet saying, like, he doesn't think it does that much in terms of movement, but it really does, bro. Like,
So definitely intrigued to your perspective on this, because I think generally the community wants ATS to be allowed within the scene, but I think for general, like, public match players, it makes way more sense, and more casual competitive players and stuff like this, it makes more sense to keep it allowed. I understand why the pros want to get rid of it, but it's still at the same time definitely interesting to hear the difference of opinions, really, between some of the pros still want it, like Clayster still seems to want it in the game, Crimsix isn't particularly keen to get rid of it, I imagine, but and some of the other pros, a lot of the SMG guys want to not have it in the game, right, because they benefit, right, because they have better movement, I suppose, and Doug almost getting his way in the end, but yeah, Shotzzy with a slight difference of opinion to maybe what some of the other guys are talking about. This though from aBeZy, right, because I mean, yeah, the FaZe guys are very frustrated with the state of the game right now, understandably so, but as he says, wow, this game is depressing, right, every single day he hops on, doesn't necessarily have the greatest time, and the repercussions to this down the long run are quite interesting. We looked at those scrim results, right, FaZe are still dominating people left, right and centre, not a massive surprise there. At the same time, they're like, obviously they've all the talent in the world, that I'm sure they're going to grind the game, but the teams that enjoy the game more are probably going to grind the game more, and some people do actually enjoy this game, and fair play if you do, because I'm not sure what the Ultra guy's opinion is, but generally from watching Ultra streams and stuff, they seem to be having a better time than FaZe are, and that's kind of, okay, people coming into the season thinking, okay, FaZe are probably S tier, like Ultra got to be like top of A tier, maybe even S tier themselves as well, and then the other teams are going to compete for kind of third place in the power rankings, because it's pretty difficult to put any team, even like Optic with the talent they have and the potential they have, above FaZe and Ultra, given what they did last year. here, and the fact that both FaZe and Ultra are proven squads that can win championships, and all the other teams that have changed their rosters are certainly not that. But I guess Minnesota, you can throw them in a similar category, but obviously not performing so well so far right at the start of this game. But I do wonder how it goes down the line, because as well, DJ Barrett says in the reply, imagine being depressed you can't get your way, imagine being an absolute moron, says aBeZy. Maybe taking out some of his frustrations with how the state of the game is right now. That's the thing, like, how does this look over the long run, right? If these guys really don't enjoy the game, like when it comes down to crunch time, are they going to put in the time that they need to actually still be the best team in the game, or can they just get there off talent? People really say nowadays that, like, a team with talent isn't enough to just get the job done. A few years ago, the Optic Dynasty, they didn't really need to play the game particularly fundamentally well, because they had way too much talent in Scump, Formal, Crimsix, and Karma, just beat out any other team they wanted on their own day, without really playing a fundamentally correct. But, and people really say nowadays that, okay, you can't really get away with that, you have to practice put in the time and stuff, but is FaZe still so good that they can maybe, get away with playing a little bit less Call of Duty, not enjoying it quite so much, and still being the best team in the game? Maybe that's something we'll actually be able to find out this season. This is Arcitys says, just to continue, COD Vanguard, guessing which door Kool-Aid Man wants to break through. So trolly, I can see him being a DLC skin, and aBeZy and Simp not particularly happy about it, not gonna lie, I'd buy it, like, whatever this skin is, that to be honest, I haven't really seen too much of. But as Major Maniak says, Berlin P2 second rotation, every window and door is absolutely gone. It's an absolute disaster. It's just such a chaotic game. Every day there's tweets like this in frustration with the state of Vanguards. Can't really blame them. Some questions coming out right now about what the third game mode could be, because Oddball, right, if you guys have played any of the Halo Infinite, there's basically a ball, it's like a skull thing, and if you hold it, you get a point every second towards your team's total. Now, it's kind of an interesting concept, really, because only 3 players can actually fight at once, because that one guy's got to hold the ball, and he can't do anything when he's got the ball in his hand. Now, is it possible that could work in a Call of Duty setting? Like, I'm not really sure they're going to bring that in. I believe they're bringing in some fan-favorite Call of Duty maps, or at least they're going to call them fan-favorite Call of Duty game modes at least, and maybe some maps coming back as well. But, Oddball, I'm not sure that's going to work as a game mode, but still, maybe Sledgehammer have something up their sleeve. They invented uplink, I guess, back in the Advanced Warfare days. And just to finish off with this, which of these players have the most top 3 finishes at Call of Duty champs? This was kind of like, at least make it a challenging question, right? Dashy, Temp, or Priestahh. So Dashy, the only time he's got top 3, I believe, was in Black Ops 4 on Optic Gaming, and came top 3 that event. Temp, I don't believe, has ever really come close to top 3, quite honestly. I think maybe his team during Advanced Warfare could have done, but he couldn't compete at champs because he wasn't 18 at the time. And Priesthah's been like a number of top 3 finishes, to be honest. Like, he's come, he had 2 seconds back to back, I believe. I think he might have even come 3rd on FaZe Clan during World War II as well. So it's certainly Priestahh, and indeed, that is the correct figure. I think he might have even had like 3 or 4 finishes in the top 3 at Call of Duty champs, which is pretty tough, but maybe he can get over line at some point. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit in the like button. Tells the YouTube gods this is a good video, and I was like, you should see it as well, and upgrade the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you as always, take care, and I will see you next time.